Hello guys, so I will be doing a disassembly slash greasing of my Penn Fathom lever drag 2-speed. So this is the size 30. I actually did a service on this wheel a couple of years ago, and I haven't been really using this wheel because this is my bottom fishing slash trolling reel, and I've been for the past 2 seasons I've been doing vertical jigging here in the Northeast, particularly in Long Island Sound. The problem was I wasn't able to properly service the reel because at that time I don't know how to disassemble the handle to remove the main gears. So this video is primarily to focus on how to properly remove the handle and the main gear inside of a 2-speed Penn lever drag. Okay, so first let's remove the lever assembly. So we'll start with make sure it's in the free position, and then remove this, what we call the preset button. Alright, as you can see, there's fresh grease in it because I didn't really use it. Okay, so let's remove this part here. Oops. And there you go. So it's a lever assembly. So the ratchet, this is the ratchet assembly right here, which gives your lever like a ratcheting action. So I'm not gonna remove that because I've already serviced it. My main focus today is to remove the handle and the main gear. So first you have to unscrew this ring. Okay. Okay. All right, and then remove the button, the 2-speed button. So there you go. Next will be this part here, which is a retainer. So let's use a pick for this one. You just have to be careful with this one. This is it's actually soft. I think you can just use your, there you go. So just be careful, it's very thin. Okay, so let's organize the parts. Okay, so now there's a, as you can see, there's a C-lock there, or a C-clip. So I have this tool to remove it. Let's see, which one should we use? Maybe this one here would be a perfect size. And I would just kind of block it here, so just in case it's won't fly. Okay, there you go. Almost there. There you go. See? Oops. And that's what I was talking about. See, it flew. Good thing it's right here. Let's arrange everything here. And that comes off. And then there's this retainer here. It's like prevents the knot here from rotating. Okay, it's a kind of a knot retainer. Okay. I was going crazy trying to figure out how to disassemble disassemble the handle and the main gear assembly. Now I figured it out. Okay. I have a schematic diagram in my computer to make sure I can put it back properly. So as you can see, it's full of old grease, so I'm gonna clean that out. Or a C-lock remover. There you go. I think that did it. I gotta clean it. So I'm using a pick here to get to those tight spaces in between. All right, time to open the reel. We have to remove these 2 screws in the back. Now it should come off. Haha! It did. So as you can see, it's still clean because I did clean it. The only thing I wasn't able to clean properly is the main gear. So might as well oil it again. So the drag system of a lever drag is a lot simpler than the star drag. That's what I like about it. It's actually easier to service. Okay, let's put that there. Unfortunately, I have to remove everything. Ooh, it's not gonna come off. Let's see if I can just take this off. Ah, there you go. Yeah, I'm gonna try to just get around the anti-reverse. Those two here is the anti-reverse and this is the anti-reverse gear. I don't need to remove this because I cleaned them already, so just gonna remove this. So you have 2 gears, okay, one for the, so 2 sets of you have 2 sets of main gear and pinion gear. Of course, one is for high speed and one is for low speed. Okay. Remove that. There you go. Haha! There you go. Okay, we were able to remove that. Nice. Okay. So now I can properly clean it. So now I'm gonna brush a coat of real grease inside on the back plate. Well, for that, let's put oil. Let's put oil on the, just drop of oil on the bearing here. Then I'm just going to coat the back plate with grease, and this is mainly for water resistance. right, now let's see if I can put it back properly. So, okay, clean this first. So I'm not gonna bother disassembling this, so it's clean. If it's really bad, then I would, but I wouldn't bother. Just wipe it off and then just put fresh oil and fresh grease. Okay, drop of oil in the bearings. Good. Oh, by the way, if you want to disassemble the main gear, so all you need to do is just remove this C-lock here and it will come off. But as I've said, I'm not gonna bother with that today. Okay, and then now I'm gonna brush the gears with grease. I'm gonna coat it with grease. You can see I don't brush the grease on the bearings, just on the gears. So you know what, this is a bearing here, so let's put a drop of oil on it. There you go. All right. Just put oil here. Let's oil the shaft. I'm not really sure if it's shaft. I think I would prefer put oil on it instead of grease. Anything that's spinning, shaft, you know, it's much better to put oil than grease, because grease is too thick, so it would become a resistance, so it would not rotate smoothly. The gears, that's where you need the grease. Okay, that's in there. I think here I'm gonna brush it with grease. Again, for water resistance. So it has to be the C-clip. There you go. Okay, there you go. Getting coated with grease inside. Inside. Next, there's this stopper here. Oh, just a reminder, I'm looking at the parts diagram to guide me put it back. Let's wipe the handle. Okay. Coated with grease, water resistance. Water doesn't get through those in between the parts, so the grease would help. A coat of grease would help. Okay, it's just a thin coat. There you go. And then this part here. So, okay, I'm gonna dip it in grease. Okay, again, so it will act like a seal. Just remember, do not over tighten this the screws, the nuts. All right, just put enough force, but don't over tighten it. It's very thin threads, and if you bust the thread, then that will be it. Not that will be it. You have to buy new parts. It's kind of, it has some gunk in it, so it helps that you have a degreaser to remove the gunk. There you go. So this part is a retaining plate to prevent the screw from moving. So there you go. Let's see if I can tighten a little bit, a tad bit. There you go, but not much. There you go. Doesn't have to be very tight. Now, so again, so I'm wiping it, cleaning it as I put it back. Again, put a thin coat of grease, and of course I'm gonna wipe the excess grease later once I assembled it. I would suggest you organize the parts per section so you can see if you have an excess part, which mostly that's what happened when you're trying to put back your reel. You'll see, oh, why do I have an extra part? Well, it happens to most things when you do it yourself, right? You would always wonder, why do you have an extra part? Okay, so I'm gonna use a long nose plier just to gently slide the C-clip back, just very gently. There you go. See, I know I forgot something. All right, there you go. It's in place, no big deal, no biggie. Okay, now let's slide that. There you go. Now it's not moving. Now just be careful with this retainer. It's very thin, very gentle. You put it back, don't force it. There you go. And coat of grease. So my system is either as I remove a part, I clean it, or as I put it back, I clean it. And this time what I'm doing is I'm cleaning it as I put it back, then put a coat of grease. Oops, bottom first. The ring is the last. Okay, and screw the ring in. Just gonna put again a thin layer of grease to prevent water from getting into in between the parts. Voila! Haha! So I'm done with the main gears. Okay, it's time to put back the pinion gears. All right, pinion gears. So this is clean. I wasn't able to use this reel. So I served this a couple of years ago, and I didn't use it for 2 years. as I've said, I was more into jigging. There you go. And let's drop oil there. There you go. So I'll drop this here. And next, so the only thing I wasn't able to do the first time I serviced this reel is to apply sufficient grease. So that's why I decided to service it again, since I didn't do a proper job last time. Okay, so this is the anti-reverse gear. Coat with grease, coat with grease, thin grease. So let's see, I'm trying to cheat if I can put back the anti-reverse gear without having to remove the locks, these two locks here. I think I was able to do it. Yep, yeah, I was able to cheat it. All right, that's all good. Okay, let's just pour some more grease on the gears. Coat it. Oh, now what's next? Again, I'm looking at the schematic diagrams. All right, I may look like a pro, as if I know what I'm doing, but nope, I'm looking at this schematic diagram. Now this part here is the one that, so this is a drag plate, so you don't put any lubrication on it because you don't want that to slip, because it, you know, again, that's the drag plate that you know, should provide friction when it presses against the drag here. This is the drag. So I'm gonna make sure there's no grease on it. I'm gonna put oil on the bearings. Other side too. Oh, came off. Anyway, we can put that here. This thing, oops, the other way around. There you go. I'm not sure if my system is easy to follow, but of course, as you service your own reel, you'll develop your own system. So as I've said, the first time I serviced the reel, I wasn't able to coat it with grease. It was my first time. I was on a trial and error that time. I'm just gonna put grease here, the clicker, and also here, so prevent water from getting inside. And also here, just to prevent the water from going inside, or water resistance as seal. So it may look like plastic, but this is not plastic. I think this is aluminum, but this part here, this is plastic. Use this part here, shaft, spin, has to line up. There's like a notch there that should, and you have to line it up there. There you go. Okay, before I do that, let's put oil. Let's put oil on the spool shaft gear. Okay, there you go. All right, let's put it back together. Almost done. Come on. Is it working? Is it working? Okay. Now, because I arranged the screws like this, so I'm not sure if this is all the same screw. So just to make sure, I arrange it the way, you know, it will go into the reel. So I'm gonna do one by one, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna dip the tip of the screw, dip it in grease, just a small amount. It's to prevent your screw from seizing when salt water gets into it. Okay, so that's done. So clean it a little bit. Also, when I did my first service on this reel, I did disassemble the knob, right? Because salt water do get in between the knob, so you have to disassemble the knob. And that's easy. You just have to remove this cap here, and you can unscrew it. Okay, here comes the tricky part. Putting back the drag is always the tricky part for me. Let's see if I can figure it out. It really involves like trial and error. See if I can get it to work. Nope. There you go. Ah, what do you know? I was able to do it with one try. All right. So I got lucky. I was able to do it with one try. And if it doesn't move, that what happened to me earlier, I was trying to figure out how come it won't move. I over tightened the preset. Okay, I'll show you. When you over tighten the preset, see? You can get it to move. So Loosen it back a little bit. Okay. Again, do not turn or set the preset unless your lever drag is in the free spool position. Okay. Now, how to properly set the lever drag? Well, what I do is I position it. So usually the preset I want is when I put it on the strike position, that it's set on the drag I want. Okay, and how much drag you want at the strike position is up to you. Okay, but I want it, for me, I prefer that when it's set to drag, the fish, let's say a big fish can still pull, take some drag. That's how I want the strike position is. Okay, I want it a little bit loose, not loose, but you know, you still have that. Maybe I would set it at around 15 pounds of force on the strike position. That's how I prefer to set my drag. Okay, you can use a scale, or you know, or you can just guesstimate it, I guess. But you know, I prefer my strike position to be at around 15 pounds. Okay, there you go. So let's see. All right, see, it's working. So that's the low speed position, and that's the high speed position. All right, and that, my friends, is how I do my do-it-yourself service for a Penn 2-speed lever drag size 30. And if you like the video, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.